today. For those of you who are not aware, a lot of weekends we have a... Oops, let me get my system sound on the right channel here. Magic does a bunch of these events over usually weekends to first couple days of the week, where you have different rules going on, different deck construction restrictions, things like that. Alright, there we go. And so for this one, it is a Singleton event, meaning that apart from basic lands, your deck has to have no more than one copy of any given card. This is the rewards that you get. Every win gets you a new basic land. These are the Jonas de Rio basic lands from Amonkhet, and then the Janavan Swamp from Unhinged. So, we're not going to take too close of a look at our deck here, but we will just go over it a little bit. The deck construction element isn't... I pretty much did a search for Elemental and a few other things like, Llanowar Elves, some burn, card advantage, all that good stuff. Just threw them into a pile. I put a... Oh, these aren't... There's no sideboard for this event, but I just put in cards that I was considering, like Bad Move, Yanling, and everything. Because, Singleton is a wild place, and we might as well have some fun while we're here. So, let's see here. Make sure everything looks good. And let's just get right to it. The previous Singleton event, about a month ago or so, I think, I did a Is It Spellslinger deck, which was a lot of fun. Just doing, cantrips and things that reward you for playing cantrips, all that good stuff. Okay, so let's see here. This isn't great, but it's Singleton. So, we've got turn 2 Monodork. We hopefully get our turn 5 Cavalier of Thorns down and run the play. So that all sounds really good. Oh, I forgot to sleeve this deck. Oh, I've got the pleb sleeves. I hope my opponent doesn't judge me too much. That's of course a joke. Pleb sleeves are just fine. Okay, so we can Creeping Trailblazer here, but I would much rather just... Oh, that was, in my normal Elementals decks, all of the come into play, or the check lands come in untapped off of any given basic land type we could play. So I'm not used to getting that Sulphur Falls in tapped there. Well, that put us back a little bit, but hopefully no removal for Incubation Druid means that we can run out turn 3 Cavalier of Thorns, because that'll give us the third green that we need. Opponent's on a... Cryptic Caves. Okay, so that's the draw card, land, and then Vivian's Arcbow. Really cool card. This should resolve, because I don't think the opponent can field counter magic. They can't even... If they have... Ooh, boy, another miss off of Cavalier of Thorns. I don't know how that happens so often, because, 5... I think we put lands in this deck, right? So anyway, they could, even without blue, they could play like a Frilled Mystic off Vivian's Arc, but they don't have quite enough mana to do that, so we were safe there. Nullhide Ferox, that's a pretty good... stacks up pretty well against Cavalier of Thorns. Stacks up less well if we have Icon of Ancestry out, of course, and or Creeping Trailblazer. So let's... get on Trailblazer, make it a 6/6. Get on Icon of Ancestry, make it a 7/7. Name Elemental, of course. And let's swing for 7. I guess what we should have actually done there was played Simic Guildgate, put that in tapped, use Incubation Druid to make the last mana, but we did not, because I am not used to playing with Guildgates. At least not in Elementals. I have definitely been... Ooh, that's a good one. Definitely been known to substitute Guildgates when I'm just experimenting and stuff like that. So, Well, congratulations on being too big for shock now, Biogenic Ooze. I think the correct play here is to just swing with the Cavalier. We can also put in Thunderkin Awakener, but it's not gonna do much. Is this, let's see, toughness. That's gonna be 3 toughness. So we could, I don't remember how this card works. toughness less than this one's toughness. Okay, so we could put in Overgrowth Elemental, tapped and attacking, but we'd be sacking this guy into their board. Let's at least play the guy. And then 3/3, 6/6. We can't burn that guy. I think we're just going in with the Cavalier here. If they want to kill it, that's great. Gonna be honest, chat, I have no idea how to pilot this deck. It's got a lot of cards that I never use, so... Okay, that's cool. We will kill their 6/6. And then we will get to put a nice card back on top of our library. Like, let's see. I think we might actually want the Lava Coil, so that we can kill Biogenic Ooze next turn. As much as I would love to put one of these big, beefy cards, or, you know, Mu Yanling or something fun like that, I think we just need to... Let's see, it takes 5. Okay, so yeah, I can't activate that. But, you know, I think we just need to try to kill Biogenic Ooze, and we're gonna shock the token there while it is still a mere 3/2 with the damage being on it there. I'm gonna be honest, I don't feel great about our position here. Vivian's Arcbow is a great card. It's really nice in Singleton format because you can dig and find exactly what you need out of your, 47 cards, 1 copy of each. Them killing our Cavalier there is actually pretty clutch because it let us kill 2 of their creatures, even though 1 was free, effectively. But then that also let us get Lava Coil, so hopefully we can kill Ooze here. Oh, well, Goreclaws were pretty good. Bring that up for anyone who is unfamiliar. Now note, we do not want to activate Icon of Ancestry here because that will bottom our Lava Coil, and we really need to kill this guy right now. So let's do it, we'll see what happens. We want to do this before combat because they could have like a Veil of Slumber or something, which, sometimes that could punish us, but our swinging isn't going to really affect anything here because they know we have the Lava Coil. Okay, so they got 4/3, I think. We can kill their Goreclaw in 2, 3, 4. We can adapt Incubation Druid with its own mana this turn. So I think we're just gonna send in Thunderkin, see if they want to trade, which I'm fine with. We can't really pump Thunderkin very well, so its targets are going to be really limited. This also gives us a +1/+1 counter on... I think they're probably going to kill this guy, so I'm just going to put it on Creeping Trailblazer. Oh, they let it in. Okay. That's cool, because we get to keep our stuff. And... that guy goes away, of course. I thought at first that Thunderkin Awakener actually exiled the card that it put into play, but the fact that it goes back into your graveyard is actually really cool, so you can do it over and over. Well, that is a really big card, but I don't think... Okay, an extra chump blocker is going to make a difference here. So I'm just going to put a stop in here to make sure that it doesn't pass our turn. See what opponent does. Alright, we're going to adapt Incubation Druid to make it a 3/5. I think that's better than activating Icon here, because this is a guaranteed 3/5 on the battlefield. Plus a bunch of mana ramp if that ends up being important, which it could be, because we might want to activate Creeping Trailblazer or something like that. Mountain is not great for us, but we can... 3... So we can get in... If they miss Creeping Trailblazer, that's just going to kill them. So let's actually activate this first, if you get anything relevant. I did not want to tap off of... Oh, I'll still have 1 green up. Okay. So I'm going to tap green, green, and then a blue, so that we have red, blue, blue, green, green up for whatever we may hit off of Icon. Omnath, that's really good for us. So we can go... Yep, opponent scoops. So that was going to do it. Alright, Icon of Ancestry coming in very clutch there. You saw that grew our Thunderkin there so that it could recur more cards. It, got us our Omnath there at the end. It helped our Cavalier of Thorns outtrade their side. This is all really cool, but I'll look at it later. Oh, Bad Vivian, awesome. And some cards and stuff. Alright, so we're going for 6 wins here. We may not hit it tonight. I don't know. This could be a really terrible deck for all I know. But, we'll see. If it ends up taking too long, I'll probably call it tonight and just finish out the quest later. But I don't think everyone's going to be, biting their fingernails to know whether or not it came together for us. I'm actually going to take 1 second here. This is fine. Chris is just asking if I'm streaming. I clearly am. So we're going to lead on Timbergorge here. That should set us up pretty well for our next turn. Alright, Persistent Petitioners. Our opponent's just going to try to mill us out with this card that they can put as many copies into their deck as they want to, because that gets around the one of per card type. So there are these cards that say that can have any number of cards named this, and they're very good in this format because you can just throw as many of them in as you want. I think I'm not too worried about this one, so I'm going to cast the Cloudkin Seer, try to draw into another land. That'll let us double. I guess we need to hit red to be able to double spell next turn. But now we can double spell next turn either way. So next turn we can do like Incubation Druid, Lightning Strike. Hopefully after that be able to get a Nissa out there. Okay, good. That should help a lot. So we're going to go with green. Okay, they have to tap mana for this to happen, for the first ability. They don't have 4 advisors yet, so we're just gonna, right now, sequencing here doesn't really matter much, so we're just gonna kill off this guy, play Incubation Druid, make sure that we get our 5th mana for next turn. Opponent kept a 2-lander, and then everything else is probably just the Petitioner, so we are on a real clock here to beat this as soon as possible, but getting this out here will help a lot with that. So let's go. Gilead's going to come in tapped. That's fine because we need Incubation Druid to get out Nissa and then untap something. Unfortunately, we can't play Mask of Immolation off of her. That's okay. We're going to probably turn the Guild Gate in. Oh, okay, opponent just scoops. Great. Yeah, so this is a very popular deck for Singleton formats because if you have, I think as long as you have 1 copy of you can have any number of cards with this name in your deck. I think as long as you have 1 copy of that card in your collection, you can put as many as you want into your deck. So it's really easy to do these Singleton decks where everyone else is running, all the jank, and you just hope that you can mill your opponent out by going Petitioners, Petitioner, Petitioners. That didn't work out for our opponent very well there because hopefully be able to play 2 of them on turn 4 with 4 lands, and then the turn after that, hopefully tap 4 of them down and do the really aggressive mill that way. But, sometimes you don't draw lands. This looks great, actually. We can go... we can't lead on Rugged Highlands here, which is too bad because that always comes into play tapped. We're probably actually going to lead on Sulphur Falls because that way we get down 2 colors of mana turn 1, and we can't use our turn 1 play or a turn 1 mana anyways. That way, if we get like that sets us up for like a Frost Lynx later. If we go Mountain first, then we can still play. Oh, actually, maybe that is better with our mana configuration in hand. It's pretty much the same either way. Opponent gets a little less information if we play Mountain first, I suppose. You'll notice some non-elemental cards in this deck, like Ugin the Ineffable, but, you know, you get up to 6 mana a lot in this format, and so you might as well have some big bombs that can just blow something up repeatedly or give you infinite 2/2s that draw cards. Now this deck is pretty much just a good stuff deck that I threw together. I'll wait for opponent to make their mull decisions here. There's no real rhyme or reason to it, just put in cards that say elemental and some other good stuff. Last week's event was the treasure event, where every turn everyone gets a token that says a treasure token. So you can sacrifice it to add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. You get one of those every turn. And I just played a deck with Mayhem Devil, so every time anyone sacrificed something, I could deal 1 damage to anything. And lost the mirror once and won every other game. So that one, I just built the Mayhem Devil deck a few days before that. So I was kind of, you know, I was basically doing what our previous opponent did, just trying to exploit the meta in some way. So sometimes I go fair, and sometimes I just say, do you know what, let's see how much we can break this. And the answer was quite a bit last time. Opponent taking a very long time to make their mulligan decision. Maybe the baby's crying in the other room. Real life interferes sometimes. It could be BMing, but, you know, I choose not to believe that unless presented with good evidence. So let's just open on Mountain. I don't think we can get punished for that. Our opponent doesn't know that we have blue that way. They could think we're on... I don't know if you can really even play red deck wins in this format because it requires so much redundancy, and you don't get that in Singleton, but I don't know. Who knows? Maybe they'll think we're on Chandra Tribal. Opponent does seem to be legitimately AFK at the moment, which hopefully they'll get back and we can play some Magic here. But otherwise, you know, I guess I will take a rope win too. Doesn't stop me from playing additional games later. Let's see what kind of stuff we can click on here. I haven't really explored the clickability of these. I know that so this looks like probably an I suppose probably Ixalan block playboard. I know that the Ravnica or Guild of Ravnica block boards have little clickable doodads on them. Seems like that is not the case with this one. You know, a little behind the Hearthstone ball there. Oh, good game, opponent. I don't know what happened, to be totally honest. Oh, you got a Kaikar Winds Fury off of that. That's pretty cool. I don't know if there's really a Kaikar deck even right now, but it's a fun card. I've seen Krim, the Asian Avenger. He's done a Kaikar deck a few times and basically just made Jeskai flyers. You know, I don't think he was even really looking at the Spellslinger synergy as much. Just, you know, all the blue, white, red flyers you can grab into one deck. It looked pretty fun. Maybe got a little bit of connection issue there. Okay, no red in this hand, but we've got Negate, we've got Icon, we know we've got a draw. Levican Brawler's a good card. We'll keep this. It's Singleton. You're not going to have great opening hands most of the time. The opponent does look like they are mulliganing. Was that their second mulligan? Yeah. Or was that their... I think they just took their third mulligan there. I haven't been paying super close attention, but... Yep, okay. Wow, we are on a tear, team. How many games have we won in the last 5 minutes? Like 3? That is a good ratio. Unfortunately, we're not making any progress on our attack with 30 creatures quest, but that will get saved up for tomorrow, so, you know, we can do that then. Alright, we're on 4 or 6 wins. Going strong. If we finish the event, I'll probably switch over to Constructed, and maybe we'll take a look at one of the decks I've been building recently. I have been building a Dimir mid-range control deck. I've been trying to build decks with different color configurations so I can get my Shockland, Fetchland mana base put together and then have more freedom. We got Rakdos X here with the Rakdos skin. I like it. This does not give us turn 1 Llanowar Elves, but, I mean, again, Singleton, you know, you can't have it all. Can't have it all, chat. With the Rakdos sleeves as well. Oh, I keep forgetting to do my sleeves. I like the manga style Tamio sleeves, so I put those on most of my decks. Really wanted to get the Simic sleeves, but I believe that they stopped doing the guild bundles without announcing they were doing so, so I missed it by a day. But there's a chance they bring it back or something like that. And if not, they'll release other nice things in the future. Boy, man, we are meeting some slow opponents today. There we go. Put down the mountain. Actually, it might be right to put down Rootbound Crag here. Depends on what we get next turn, but I don't think there's a way that we care one way or another. It would take a really narrow sequence of top decks, and I don't know if we can produce that in this deck. Cinder Barons, alright, looks like they are indeed on red-black. Oh, and actually, see, we should have done that now, because I forgot that we have all these always come to play tap lands in our deck, so if we would have gone Rootbound Crag last turn, we could Golgari Guildgate this turn, getting this come into play tap land out of our hand for no downside. Yeah, man. Budget mana bases, they require some finesse. They require some finesse, chat. Alright, so this turn we can actually Chandra Acolyte of Flame into Chandra Fire Artisan next turn, which I like doing. Even though that's not quite as mana efficient, we can... well, you can get in for one off of Llanowar Elves, but I think I prefer going World Guildgate into Chandra, because this way, next turn, if our Llanowar Elves survives, we can play Chandra Fire Artisan plus Chandra Fire Artisan, have a land to play a 1-drop, and also not have hit a land drop yet, so if she hits a land, we can put that one into play, which will be great. Opponent goes Field of Ruin. I don't know about Field of Ruin in this format, chat. Ooh, yeah, that's quite nice. Okay, so we're... we can also play Temple of Mystery and try to scry into something that Chandra can hit, but I don't like that line as much as just hopefully hitting a land off of her. Before we do that, let's make elementals. I don't think there's anything that Chandra can hit that like we could cast that would have haste and we'd want to attack with here. We don't have Fanatical Firebrand in this deck. That would be a consideration, because if we hit that, we would be able to play it here. But, as it is, drop down Chandra, get to plussing. Hopefully, I don't think our opponent can interact with this on the stack. But yeah, Field of Ruin feels weird here. Everyone's got a ton of basic lands, and the things that you'd want to kill with it, your opponent can only be running one of, so they're much less likely to see them. So I don't know about screwing your colors a little bit. Thicket Crasher, okay, can't play it, that's fine. We'll just go Temple of Mystery. Thicket Crasher is not great in this deck, but sometimes you get really big stuff and you want to do something with it. Do we like Temple of Epiphany here? We already have one blue. I actually really like the Scry off of that, and I like getting another land, because the Scry will help us hit with... Well, actually, no, if we play this to Scry with Chandra, then we can't hit a land off of it. Okay, yeah, we'll just bottom that. We got another land in hand. We've got Chandra that'll help us hit land drops. Yeah. Do not like having to play that out before activating Chandra to get the Scry value. So our opponent's looking at blowing up our Temple of Mystery here. It's not really going to do anything, because we already have double green, and we can just get blue. So, it's possible they didn't have anything else to do. It seems... Oh! Huh. Well, look at me just getting wrecked because I don't have any basic islands in here, chat. That's quite a punt, and we just bottomed a... Oh, well, I guess it doesn't matter that we just bottomed a blue land, because we would want to shuffle off this Field of Ruin. So we would shuffle it away anyways. Oh, that sure is a punish, isn't it? Should definitely have a basic island in here. Because there are things like Settle the Wreckage as well that you want to be able to pull out at least one of a particular basic. So opponent is on a clock here. Chandra's ticking up. Her minus isn't amazing for this deck, but it is effectively draw some cards, 7 your opponent. Okay, Vraska's Contempt. Good answer for our opponent there, but we're still way ahead on board, although our opponent is ahead on cards here because we didn't actually get any hits off of our Chandra. So I think the play here is Incubation Druid. Yeah, there's nothing in here for us to recur. So we'll just... Next elementals, we can play both of our druids here off of the lands that we have in play. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Yeah. Note that also Incubation Druid can't make blue now because of our losing our blue there. Also, I didn't play the land here because there are some things where we want to put in the land after Gremlin Chupacabra. Very nice for our opponent. I assume that kills Incubation Druid. Yeah. And there's nothing... Okay, there's some blue mana. Good. Yeah, I don't think there's a line here where we draw something that draws us more cards and then we can't play them because we didn't play a land last turn. And this withholds information and gives us potential landfall triggers. Okay, so here we're just going to, again, yeah, nothing in here that you want to recur. Let's make some elementals. Send in the elementals. Our opponent removing our big Chandra previously is really bad for us because we are drawing a fair amount of air here. You know, 3 mana dorks, fair amount of lands, and then Frostlinks is nice for tapping things down, but it's just a 2/2 at the end of the day. So we really want to hit some kind of draw engine here to be able to, pull back into this game. Oh, there's our opponent's Chandra. That's good for them. Especially because we have no way of exiling it as far as I know. I don't think we have Aether Gust to put it back on top. Alright, I think this might be coming up on the end of the line for our win streak here, chat. And we can tap Chupacabra, get him for 3. Oh, I guess they're just going to attack Chandra, so... I like preserving Chandra's life total more than keeping Leafkin out because we can play pretty much everything in our deck already, and we don't have any need to double spell. So if we can get a removal spell out of their hand, that's really cool for us. Yep, there we go. Do it. Oh, Cloud Concealer is actually pretty nice here. And we can't play both that and Frostlinks unless we hit a blue source here. Let's give it a try. I think we will swing first. Actually, no, I'm going to do this first because I want to know if I want to attack with my Llanowar also. Oh, there's that Temple of Epiphany we shuffled away. That's nice. So, no reason to fade this as far as I can see, so let's play it. Ooh, Chandra Novice Pyromancer is really good. Let's leave her on top. Okay, so question is, do we want to preserve Chandra? Do we want to roll her up? And I think the answer is no. I think we just want to... This Chandra is going to kill us. So I think we just want to take everything that we can, throw it at the opponent's face, make them commit to taking Chandra off the board. If they have spot removal for our Chandra, then we're sad here, because it will be really nice to have... Ooh, opponent keeps hitting lands off their Chandra, that's great. It'll be great to be able to activate this Chandra with that Chandra, and yeah, look at that, 7 lands and 5 cards in hand and a card advantage engine in play. That's 2 turns from ulting. That is a really good place for them to be. They've used their shock. I think our out here is to hope that they can't remove the Chandra. Just get in as much as we can every turn. Use this Chandra to... Oh, Skargan Hellkite, yeah. I don't think we're getting there at this point. We can... Oh, that doesn't have to attack to use that ability. Knight of the Ebon Legion. Oh, yeah, they are closing the door hard on us here. So we can play a mountain, play a frost lynx to get this guy out of the way. Then we can play Chandra, who we would love to get him for extra damage. So let's see. They block one of these. We get him for 3. If we plus this Chandra, we get him for 1. One of these gets in, so that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We take them to 3. I mean, that's pretty good. I think we just do that and hope that we can close out the game here, because we're on a really short timer anyways, so we could alternately kill Knight of the Ebon Legion with this Chandra, but I think the additional damage we get in for is going to be better. Plus that builds Chandra up, so that's cool. And let's go to face. So do we want to hold this one back as a blocker? Sort of. Okay, so let's count here. They block A, got it 1, 2, 3, 7, 6 up to 8. Is that worth it? I think I'd rather have a blocker to try to interfere with what they got, because most of these things could be lethal next turn, and the 1 damage doesn't turn this into a different clock. So I think being able to preserve this Chandra or this Chandra, hopefully, is a better line here. Alright, they sack their knight. Go to 4. Oh, that's right, yeah. I forgot about what I just said about how this guy doesn't have to attack. It's just if it has a +1/+1 counter. So they can, let's see, they have 4, 5, 6, 7. If they have a land, they can activate this twice. So they're probably going to lock us out of the game with the Skark and Hellkite. They can kill Cloudkin Seer. Oh, jeez. Maybe they'll -3 her, chat. That would be awesome. And if they do that, they're also spending all of their mana and can't Skark and Hellkite. Also, they'd have 2 left, yeah. That's actually a pickle. That's a pickle for our opponent. I think the right play here, they can activate Skark and Hellkite twice now, so they can blow up this guy and both of these guys, but then we get in for 3. Oh, Siege Game. That's good for them. They can blow up the Cloudkin Seer with that, and then have blockers back. Dreadhorde Butcher, I don't think really we care. Wait, why did they kill one of our guys with that Siege Gang Commander? I feel like they want to remove this Cloudkin Seer because it's got evasion, unless they can kill it right now. And no, they're not gonna. I think this is correct. Black with the Llanowar Elves. Chandra takes 1. That if we kill the Dreadhorde Butcher, our Cloudkin Seer dies. But as is. So you become a 2/2. That doesn't... Okay, we get a hasty guy that can bring back Leafkin Druids. That's cool, I guess. Oh wait, no, it's toughness, so it can't do that. But it is a hasty guy. Yeah. We got there. Our opponent had to kill the Cloudkin Seer with the Siege Gang Commander. I think they had them on for that. I guess I don't remember exactly how Siege Gang Commander works. So maybe I'm just filling your ears with nonsense and lies. But I feel like they handed that game to us. They also had Skarg and Hellcat, which can blunt a bunch of their stuff. But you know, maybe they'd completed the event and just wanted to give us a free win. So we grounded out, guys. We made it when everything seemed lost, and we're on to game number 6. I don't think we can take credit for sweeping it so far, just because we had some, you know, like disconnect there, stuff like that. Very slow hand, fine by me. You know, we're gonna have a lot of tapped lands here. Well, that is less than ideal. Okay, so we want something that gives us red. Get an untapped land. That's great. We can kill Knight of the Ebon Legion before it can start going off. Okay, looks like we're up against vampires, probably. Oh, actually, it's not the sacrifice. Oh, this is also a vampire. Yeah, okay. That is not what we needed, chat. That is not what we needed. If we're on the play, we are totally fine here. Okay, they're going to play the Dreadhorde Butcher Slave, so we can kill some relevant things. This is kind of an aristocrat-y looking deck, Martyr Aristocrats, which is a deck that I've actually made and like a lot. But I don't have all the pieces for it yet, so it's pretty inconsistent still. Okay, so we have a decision here. Do we kill Knight of the Ebon Legion or Dreadhorde Butcher? Knight of the Ebon Legion is going to pump and grow, but that takes all their mana. Dreadhorde Butcher is just going to grow every turn. This is a real dilemma. I think the fact that Knight of the Ebon Legion takes their mana in order to grow, even though it'll get in for more damage, means that we want to kill Dreadhorde Butcher. Also, if we kill Dreadhorde Butcher later, it's going to hit us for more. Unless we have a way of exiling it, which, again, I don't think we do. Yeah, we'll just take 3 off that, they'll gain a life, you know, whatever, no big. And then we'll probably take, 4 off of this guy, take 5, go to 9. Yeah, whatever, you know, we're in it for the late game. We've got a Frost Lynx, we can tap it down for a turn, no sweat. Oh, man. Tapped lands for days here. Okay, so we want, we've got double green, we want to go up to 3 greens, so that hopefully next turn we can play Cavalier of Thorns. Dazzle gains us a life. We are going to tap down the Knight of the Ebon Legion. Well, not tap it down, but keep it tapped. I thought that the graphic didn't go off there. I thought that that would happen, that it would get the chain around it even if the card was already tapped. Yeah, more of these is not what we want. These being come into play tapped lands. Boy, I really like if we could play Cavalier of Thorns there, but as it is... So, Omnath can kill Knight of the Ebon Legion once we get another guy down. So if we can't... Oh, but we'll have to chump block to stop... Ugh, God, this is so bad for us. I really wish we were on the play. Or at an untapped land at any point. So I think what we're going to have to do is Omnath. And just kill Cruel Celebrant. And then... Yep, take our damage. They gain their life. Play the Guild Gate. Bring you up to 3/3, or do we bring you up to... So this guy's going to get Death Touch if it activates, right? Yeah. I think I make this guy a 3/3 so that we force them to pump by blocking with it. That way we don't have to sacrifice our Omnath or just chump with Frost Lynx for no extra value. Yeah, I do not like them attacking with the Vamp. So we'll put this in front. Opponent presumably pumps. Preserves a Knight of the Ebon Legion, but that does take them off making most other plays this turn, so that's not too bad. Scampering Scorch is a pretty good card here because it gives us lots of chump blocks. It still comes into play on tap, so we can't play that plus Thunderkin. But having the Thunderkin in the back pocket is pretty, okay, so this guy is pretty nice. Okay, so they're probably going to keep that guy alive. I think we will do this, because that with Thunderkin Awakener is going to give us lots of chump blockers, which is really good for us. Make Omnath bigger. I'm going to leave this guy back to block. I'm going to leave one additional blocker back in case they have removal for one. Oh, yeah, these guys are permanent. That was a huge punt on my part, but opponent saw the shock and played around it. So, yeah, I was thinking of these, like, I play this card all the time, and I was thinking about these like they were Chandra Elementals for some reason, like they were going away at the end of the turn. Ooh, oh, jeez. Okay, Soren's going to bring back Dreadhorde Butcher, and that's going to make us real sad. Oh, I guess it's not going to do that. At least, not yet. Yeah, so we want to sack this guy. And... I don't think we chump with this one, we just keep it around for more chumps later, or attacks. Because taking 2... I'm alright with. Could have been correct for us to hold back Omnath to block. Since we're so low on life, I kind of Didn't even see. Oh, of course, part of that is because they're getting life off of the Sorin now, so that's not great. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can go... I think we shock the Cruel Celebrant. That's not great because it's making us lose more life, but that thing's going to kill us one way or the other. Normally Sorin can get her back, we can kill Sorin here. Yeah, we'll just go Cavalier of Thorns. Have a bunch of nice blockers now. Put out the Stomping Grounds. Finally we get something that'll bring our check lands in untapped. Make our Omnath bigger, because we're going to get him with that right now. Or are we? Because we want... We need to kill Sorin, because it's going to bring more stuff in. I think we just leave everyone else back as... Well, but they're suiciding into that guy. But we're too low. Okay. We're too low to play the value game of, oh, if they want to attack with everything, they have to, you know, sacrifice one of their guys. We're at 4. I don't know exactly how that happened. Oh, because of their Cruel Celebrant triggering over and over. Right. How much have we gained off our gain lands here? 1, 2... Just the 2. So we'd be at 2 without gain lands. That's nice, although I'd rather have been able to, you know, play cards in a timely manner. That would have been better. I do not like this attack from our opponent. They can't get this guy big enough. Oh, wait. Yeah. Because if we go like this, they pump it 2 +3 +3, so it's a 5, 6. We're actually going to put everything in front of it. Because if they have a removal spell, this ensures that we aren't super sad. If they have 2 removal spells, then we're still super sad. But they can't play 2 removal spells and... Okay, so they don't pump. They take us to 3. But they couldn't both pump and play 2 removal spells, so... this means that we can play Thunderkin here, make some... Ooh, boy, that's a good one. Okay, so I played into that. That's on me. I think we sacrifice Cavalier of Thorns so that we can put something nice on top like a... Might actually be Chandra's Triumph and just kill the Vindictive Vampire, because that thing is way too scary here. Oh, we also have Chandra Awakened Inferno. That's pretty good. Let's sacrifice Cavalier of Thorns, team. Let's put Chandra Awakened Inferno on top of our library. And let's play her. Although I think I want the opponent to have the chance to block. Because I'd rather that and then give them an emblem and just start racing. Because I assume this is going to take more turns. I assume this is going to take enough turns to where the emblem's going to be more damage than the one attack on Omnath, because they still have a lot of life and they have life gain. We're going to use this one to -X because in the off chance it's relevant, that exiles. So, I mean, we've already killed their Sorin at Singleton format, but they could have other ways of bringing it back or bringing Sorin back. You know, their Mardu, they have... I keep playing like this is a... Oof, that's good game. I was going to untap Omnath, gain control of it, swing in, and we're dead. I kept playing like this was a normal Vampires deck, but obviously this is a... there's some hasty dudes in here, so it might have been right to attack with Omnath, but as you can see, it didn't matter. It did not matter at all. Yeah, you could really see how much we got punished by those come and play tapped lands. We would have been in a really good position there, I think, if we'd been able to play a turn 2 removal spell, or, you know, gotten our later cards out a turn earlier. But, you know, again, when you gotta fix your mana, you're in 3 colors, you can only play 1 of any given land. That's what you gotta do. Alright, guys, we got there. We got this. Oh, and we had 3 Chandra into 4 Chandra in hand, too. Man, I wish we would have got to play that one out. What do you think? Should we do one more? Should we do one more to make up for all the... Alright, and we got our nice old swamp. I really like these arts. I know I've mentioned that before, but they are quite nice. I'm currently using the parallaxed M20 basics for most of my decks, because I really like most of them. I'm not a huge fan of that planes, the Boros and Zigzai planes. I really like most of their art, but that one just doesn't quite do it for me. But, ooh, that's a keeper, chat. That is a keeper. Get on Thornwood Falls, because this is always coming to play tapped. Gain a life. Man, I want to say too many things during all these streams, and always end up losing my train of thought. So that's oh no, it gets moving. That's fine. That's fine for them. They get to see what we got in hand, so that's also very good. We haven't seen any red cards or lands here, so opponent might think that we're just on Simic. I've been playing Cavalier of Gales in my... Okay, we're going to play this forest, obviously, so that we can play a card that they already know we have. We're going to go with the Reef here. It'll probably get killed, but the upside of it not getting killed... I mean, they know we have it, so... They're not going to kill the Cloudkin Seer when they know we have Risen Reef in hand. So the upside of them not having the removal spell there is that we get 2 cards next turn, whereas there's not really an upside, in my opinion, to us slow rolling that one out. So I think here we're going to just play the Cloudkin Seer, try to get to land number 5. I suppose it's slightly better to play the land first, because that way if we drop from the cost 1 blue, we can play it. We do not, but we get... actually, we need another blue land to be able to play that guy, so let's hope we find that. It would be great to play Cavalier of Gales on curve, especially into... I mean, this is a... You choose an artifact. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, that was good for them. Good job. And that wasn't going to let us play it anyways, so you know it's all the same. This turn, I think we're going to just hold up Negate and play Icon of Ancestry. So again, they know we have this. They know we have this. We're not hiding any information or anything by playing them out. Good. No Negate. We were playing around Spell Pierce there. And also we had our own Negate if they did have a Negate, but in a Singleton format, you know, you can feel a little bit safer in making your plays like that. So we're going to hold back the Incubation Druid. We don't have much to do with the mana it would generate right now, because we're going to want to hold up the Negate or something like that. Boy, do we... I think we do this. Make them, if they're going to remove this, make them spend mana on their... Like, this isn't a huge threat, but we don't have any other real threats right now, except Incubation Druid, Adapt, Incubation Druid, Swing. I'd rather spend that mana on Icon of Ancestry. I don't care that much about their Jace. He will go to 5. It's not ideal. So he's going to be drawing them some cards, but... Killing us doesn't really do anything. Like, they hit some good stuff there, but they drew... Oh, we can't play Chandra's Triumph because we don't have red lands. Well, we do. It's just going to come into play tapped. So I believe the play here is we will... I think we're going to slow roll the Icon because they've had so much discard. We want to do that as late as possible. So let's play Timber Gorge. We will swing at Jace. This guy's going to gain them some life effectively.
Now we've got a fight on our hands.
Our relevant things that we'd want to play this turn are like that would have haste or buff our guys. I believe I'll require red, so there was no reason for us to activate that there. Oh, shoot, we should have played Incubation Druid there. Wow, I am a huge dork. Let's see what we hit here. Embercat. Not a great hit. There's our 2 Chandras back to back again, but unfortunately they're getting milled out. Yeah, as you can tell, I'm not super comfortable with how this deck plays. Milling us some more. So this is actually looking like it might be a semi-mill focused deck, which is interesting. We can play the Vorst Claw out. I think we just need to get rid of the Jace because they're going on the mill plan. So let's kill you.
I won't have to remember this.
That takes us off of red, unfortunately, so we can either Incubation Druid or Icon of Ancestry. We have a lot to spend our mana on next turn, so I think I'm actually going to Incubation Druid here. They know we have it anyways, so we're getting rid of a known card. Next turn we're going to want to spend this mana on Vorst Claw, which, yeah, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Liliana Dreadhorde General is probably going to wreck us. Yeah, I assume they plus here instead of minusing,
Rise
because
and shine.
I don't think they want to get rid of their 4/4 for our currently 0/2 mana dork. Okay, so Thunderkin Awakener, does that do anything? It puts Cloudkin Seer into play, tapped and attacking. I'm pretty sure we just want to play our big dude and see if we can make anything happen. I see no reason to attack. Alright, one gains a life, that's cool. Oh yeah, right, they have the little... Yep, we are in a bad spot. We do have Thunderkin Awakener. I almost never play against Liliana, so I'm always kind of surprised when she activates. Karn is gonna really suck for us. I think we're just gonna give him a scoop here, but we'll see what we draw. So we got, you know, Icon of Ancestry and Thunderkin. And now we no longer have Thunderkin, so that's cool. And that card is why we often do things like activate Icon of Ancestry at the end of our opponent's turn when they're representing discard. Oh, you know, maybe we can kill the Liliana here. We can get in for 2, trade with their guy, see if we get something relevant here. Overgrowth Elemental. Cool. We're going to give them the good game and scoop it up. Alright, pretty rough game for us. We made a lot of misplays, but part of the reason we're here is to learn. And learning how to play your Singleton Elemental deck is no exception. So I mentioned a minute ago that I was working on a Dimir deck. I forged a bunch of lands here and then got most of the other things that I wanted for this deck. So this is a deck that exists because I really like Tomebound Lich. 1/3 Death Touch Lifelink for 3 in Dimir colors. When it comes into player deals combat damage to a player, I get to draw a card, then discard a card. That's really cool. I will say that 3 mana is a little pricey for this body, but it gives you that immediate loot, which is usually great. The Death Touch is often amazing because these colors often do struggle with opponent just having a huge creature. Especially, you know, huge legendary creature. You can't Tyrant Scorn, well, you can bounce it, but you can't kill it with Tyrant Scorn, you can't kill it with Legion's End, you can't kill it with Cast Down, you can't kill it with Cry the Carnarium, you can't kill it with Ritual of Soot, with Enter the God Eternals, any of those things. So Tomebound Lich is kind of, it doesn't, you know, you can't get offensive with it and kill their big stuff, but it holds it off for a little while, which in a deck like this is what you need. Your opponent can kill it, but, you know, that's fine. They spent removal on your card that already looted and probably held off their side for a little bit. If they're committing their mana to kill this guy, they're usually doing it at roughly mana parity, so that's cool too, while you're getting the extra value. So what we've got is kind of a standard looking Dimir control deck here. Opt, of course, is amazing. I just realized I'm not framed right now. Sorry about that. Opt is amazing. Some negates because these colors often have trouble dealing with resolved non-creature cards, so being able to, you know, artifacts, enchantments, that sort of thing. So being able to take them out on the way down or protect your creatures, great. Legion's End I'm becoming more and more fond of. Even in the ramp decks, you can kill their Hydroid Krasis with this card, and that is amazing. Also, it doesn't say non-land, so you can kill, say, a Nissa land with it, although it says, let's see, all other creatures up there controls with the same name as that creature, right? So you would kill, if they have a bunch of forests, you can actually kill all the forests, but, oh, wait, this does also take them out of their hand. Okay, so that's actually way better than I thought. Good against Nissa lands. Just let me make sure I'm right about that. Other creatures up there controls, yep, okay. Assuming they have multiples of the same land. Cry of the Carnarium. Oh, so here's an interesting thing. This card, conditional. This card, conditional. This card, kind of conditional. Cry of the Carnarium, very conditional. Tomebound Lich lets you play those conditional cards and then get rid of them when you don't want them, which is sweet. You know, a lot of decks don't care about Cry of the Carnarium. I don't care. I'm going to run it main deck because some decks get wrecked by Cry of the Carnarium, and when I don't want it, Narset will get me past it, or Cavalier of Gales will brainstorm it away for me, or Tomebound Lich will discard it and let me draw a better card off of it. So that's a really great little interaction there. You know, as per usual, Thought Erasure, best card in the deck. I would probably run, I think the right number for this deck is 9. If you could run 9 Thought Erasures, that's how many I would probably put in here. You know, shave some negates, shave a little top end, maybe get rid of an Opt because we're fixing our draws anyways. Just all around amazing card. Narset, of course, All-Star. I hate this card with a burning passion because I think that a 3-mana, high-value, a prison planeswalker of this degree that shuts off one of the most fun and fundamental parts of a lot of Magic decks is something that should never be printed. But here we are. We're playing 3 copies because it's amazing. Cry the Carnarium, great against many decks, and when it's not great, we can get rid of it. Kefnet is kind of hit or miss, I feel like. It is very hard to remove. That's probably one of the best parts about it. We do have 23 hits off of it, although some of them are things like Negate, where hitting Negate off of Kefnet literally just tells your opponent that you have a Negate, which you don't want to be doing generally. But, the other ones are pretty reasonable hits. Tyrant Scorn can usually bounce something, maybe Legionette doesn't do anything, but, it's usually pretty good. And then just being a 4/5 beater with evasion for 4, that's that wins you a lot of games, especially when your opponent really can't remove it very well. Cavalier of Gales and Cavalier of Night, these are in here because I had 2 Gales and 1 Night, and I threw them in to see how they work. I will say that I like Gales a lot more than Night, but I will also say that a 4/5 lifelink in this deck is fantastic because it really helps you stabilize, although the 4 in the front really weakens this deck, or really weakens this card quite a bit. But, it also has great synergy with Tomebound Lich. You can sacrifice the Tomebound Lich to kill one of your opponent's cards after it's already done its job, and then when this dies, you can get it back. Cavalier of Gales lets you Brainstorm, put something nice back on top for Kefnet to recur, lets you put something you don't want on top to go past it with Narset. Really good synergies there. And then we've got Discovery Dispersal. That is a stand-in for Search for Azcanta, which, as you can see, I spent all of my rare wild cards and could not make. But these would be Search for Azcanta once I get those. And then 1 Liliana Dreadhorde General because I had one of her, and 1 Ugin the Ineffable because I had one of him, and they're both very good, but a lot of times you only want to see the one of either, so that works just fine. So since we went through the event pretty fast, let's just take a look. Oh, and then 2 Field of Ruin, because we're not too greedy on our colors, and it's nice to be able to turn off a color for a little bit, or other such things. Destroy utility land. Also, name of this deck, it is Tomebound Lich. T-O-M-E is Tome, as far as I am aware. If I am wrong about that, certainly tell me in the comments. I would love to hear what you have to say, but as far as I am aware, that is the case. And a lot of people just call it Tombbound Lich. Tomb is T-O-M-B, generally, so I just figured I would put the word out there in the name of the deck. This... I can't believe how often we draw, like, double Cavalier or double Planeswalker in this deck when we have 3 and 2. But we have an Opt, we're going first, we have both colors, we have a Legion's End, we have Cry the Carnarium. This is a pretty stacked hand. We just have to hope to opt into a land or 2. Of note, however, we have 1 of each basic, and double black, triple blue, not ideal. Not ideal at all. So hopefully we can fix that mana a bit here. We do have the 8 dual lands, so... Alright, we're gonna click this and then pass their opponent's turn so that hopefully they don't know we have an Opt. That's not critical to our strategy, but, might as well. I'll give them the hello. So yeah, here we can click on some stuff, because this is a Guilds of Ravnica themed board we've got going. Well, that's kind of cool. You can see the Planeswalker Spark spoot out of there. I don't know what our opponent's waiting for here, but they're waiting to play a swamp, apparently. Okay, cool. I like... Well, let's see. This could be vampires, in which case I like having another swamp. We want more lands anyways. So let's do it. Another swamp is not great, but that does give us Cavalier of Night. So I was really hoping to get another blue land there, so we'd be just 1 away from Cavalier of Gales, but we'll take it. Oh, there's another Opt, which is very nice. I'm actually going to opt main phase here. If we get a shock land or something, that's nice. Oh boy, do I keep another Opt? We have 4 lands. We want to get to land number 5 sooner rather than later. I think I'll keep this because I don't foresee myself having another relevant play next turn. So I would rather be able to do this, spend my mana on something, you know, if they play some cheap stuff, we have these two cards. If we have a Tomebound... Oh, opponent is not looking so hot there, but we do know that they are on vampires, apparently. Or just a non-vampire deck that's happens to play Sorin, but I don't think that's the case. Okay, there we go. Drawn Catacomb. Awesome. We're going to put that guy in tapped here. I don't feel like we need to bluff negate. Oh, wait, no, it's not coming in tapped. It's not a Shockland. We cannot even put it in tapped if we want to, unless we destroy all of our basics. So Cry of the Carnarium, along with being really good against a lot of weenies, is especially good against a Danto Vanguard, which normally you can just never kill under any circumstances, and it drives me bonkers because I usually play decks that cannot race them. So yeah, it's really cool to have that here as a hedge. Second Cry of the Carnarium is really good for us. We're going to put down Cavalier of Night here, which opponent will probably have a hard time finding out. Okay, they have cast down, so never mind then. That was pretty good for them. We spent 5 mana doing that, and they are now getting to hit another, well, hopefully hit a land drop here. Let's see. This is the return. So, I actually like, if we had the extra blue, I think I would have preferred that over this because I get more value. There's another sword. Okay, so they can get down like a big beefy vampire here, which will be very good for them. Hopefully we get another black so that we can Liliana Dreadbore generally and just kill. There we go. Life, play a Liliana. We're not going to play games with plussing her or anything. We're going to kill that guy. If they play another guy, roll up Sorin to kill Liliana, that's fine, because then we'll have Cavalier of Gales, which they'll have a hard time dealing with, so I think that's a fine play. Although I haven't played this deck a whole... Okay, there we go. Opponent just super stuck on land there. Which is unfortunate. And I mean, you've got double Sorin, double Swamp. It's hard not to keep the hand, I feel like. Look at all that progress we made towards our attack with 30 creatures quest there, guys. That is amazing. That very nice uncommon. Goes into some feather decks, and usually the Boros variety. But yeah, you know, you can't fault the opponent for keeping that hand, because, you know, if you draw a land, you are in really good shape there. But, you know, having to discard a Sorin, play another Sorin just to have it do effectively nothing, miss on a land again, yeah, it's really rough. I wonder what they were holding in their hand that they wanted to discard a Sorin over something else. Like, maybe they just assumed that we wouldn't be able to deal with their Sorin and they didn't need a second one, but I don't know if that's the right play. Alright. 3 lands, really good mana, all the removal in the world. This seems like a great keep. We'll eventually draw into something that threatens our opponent. Opponent goes to 6, that's cool. Drawing is welcome, so it's the life gain deck. That's really cool for us. It'd be great to be on the play here so we can negate something turn 2 if needed, or just Thought Erasure them, actually. Thought Erasure. So, be on the Watery Grave. No need to bluff a Spell Pierce or anything like that. Bluff Opt. That seems equally bad. Alright, I think that... Somebody's Pride Mate might hit us for 4 or something next turn, but I think I would prefer to go Drawn Catacomb Thought Erasure, take out any difficult to remove piece they might have from their hand, just take the damage. Yeah, I like seeing what's in their hand and getting rid of that Sorin. Sorin's very good in this deck. He gives all your creatures lifelink during your turn, so whenever anything connects, it's throwing your Pride Mates. I've got a couple of Orzhov Guildgates here, so pretty slow lands for the moment. So we're going to Watery Grave. I don't imagine they're playing Protection, but if they are, I'm okay with them spending it on their Pride Mate. So I'm going to wait a tick, see what happens. Actually, I'm going to put a stop on both of these in case I gain information, and then... Okay, so that's 4/4 now, so we're probably... Yeah, we're going to kill that guy now. That sounds fine. I don't think they're going to have any legendary creatures, so... But they might have something a little bit on the bigger side, I don't know. But yeah, so I'm going to use the Tyrant's Scorn. Kill off the Pride Mate. I'm not 100% sure what this list really runs, so... It could have been right to use the other one instead. Okay, here we go. Very nice. We can hold up for a negate, but I think it's better just to get down the Tomebound Lich, do some looting. We'll discard the Swamp because we have 3 blue for Cavalier of Gales next turn. Oath of Kaya, very nice answer for our opponent. But they have no life gain creature to get value off of that, so that's nice. And they are played out, and we're going to play a Cavalier of Gales into their 1/1. Get a Brainstorm, so that's a really good position for us. I don't think they're ever going to sandbag anything, so I'm definitely putting back the Thought Erasure, because that's just a Surveil 1 right now. Legion's End's amazing, the Gate is great. I'm going to put back the land. It's very unlikely that... I feel it's very unlikely that we end up going past these, you know, like, if our Cavalier of Gales dies, then that's a possibility. Okay, so gonna go up to a 3/3 Johnny's Pridemate. No attacks. We're just gonna... I think we're gonna go in with Cavalier of Gales. I assume they will sack their Healer's Hawk to it, which I'm fine with. We're actually going to opt first, though. Alright, Thought Erasure. Get rid of that Thought Erasure. Draw a card. Swamp. We will then Legion's End the Pridemate. That keeps them off of recurring one with Sorin. Oh, you know, I was going to do that post-combat, actually, so that I could see if they would... block with the Healer's Hawk, gain their life. If they end up getting more life gain synergy, that's what the cast down is for. But as it is, I think we will just cast down the Resplendent Angel. Opponent has no cards in hand, no drawing as far as I know, so I don't think we have to hold up negate there. Gonna sandbag the land here. Well, actually, there are cards that let us draw. So we might want to play this, and then if we draw more cards, we'll want to have had that. Had that in play, potentially. I like that our opponent is getting in with their Healer's Hawk a few times. I don't think it's right for them to chump block yet, and they're bringing us down a little bit and gaining a few life, even if they have no relevant life gain synergies. I don't think we are... Okay, well, here's Cavalier of Night. That's going to be tough for them. Because now we're going to be gaining life at 4 times the rate they are, while swinging for 9 times as much. Alright, Putter lets it in. We can't block with the Cavalier, so that is relevant. I mean, we can block with it, we just can't block a Healer's Hawk. We are going to decline to sack our Cavalier of Gales to kill a 1/1. But we've got Tyrant Scorn for any, or for most creatures. We've got Negate for any non-creatures. And yeah, opponents playing to their outs here. They're playing to their outs by going in there instead of just, you know, chumping immediately. I'm not going to play around Settle, because I have Negate. And I don't think they'd be playing Settle the rest of the stack anyways, so... I'm going to play the Field of Ruin. Yeah, maybe we can cut off their colors a little bit. I don't think that's going to be relevant, because they're top decking at 6 lands now. Opponent is not dead on board, because they could gain 2 life if they attack. Yeah, so I think we will swing. We can't win by swinging in after after killing one with Ugin. So I'm just going to let them block both of these and make a 2/2. That makes us a little bit wider. And if they... Okay, so they just blocked the 1. I feel like I should have attacked this guy last turn if that was their plan, but I guess they were playing around removal, right? Which, of course, we... Oh, hey, you know, we had enough for Ugin and Tyrant Scorn, so that's a punt on our part. Because we could have killed both of those guys and then just won there. But we had 8 mana when I thought we had 7, so my bad. That's Legion Zealot is not, I think we get there. Does gain them a life while they lose a life and draw a card. So it is life neutral for them. That is an interesting inclusion to this deck. Okay, and scoop it up. So opponent was on a pretty... It's not a tribal deck per se, but it was a pretty you know, tribal synergy-ish deck. There we go. Finished our quest. With, you know, lots of cards that need to synergize together. And when you're against a deck that can just answer you 1-for-1 like that, and then you have a bunch of enchantments that say occasionally gain a life, and a bunch of 1/1s, that's really hard to stack up. Especially with that opener that we had with, you know, discard, removal, negate, just really backbreaking for that kind of deck. This hand is good in some very specific situations. But I think I have to mull it, because the odds that nothing in this hand ever does anything are way too high. I like this a lot. I do not like the fact that we have Swamp Field of Ruin, but going to 5 I feel like we are less likely, so as a 6 we just need to draw, you know, a blue land, and then we're all set. Opponent is probably on some sort of flash shenanigans, or ramp shenanigans. Oh wait, Temple of Mystery, yeah. So probably not flash, but there we go, like we had it the whole time. But they had no growth spiral or anything like that, so maybe I... Wow, and no Elvish Rejuvenator, so yeah, I have no idea what our opponent could possibly be doing here. We have 2 Narsets, so I think I like running out 1. We have to play the Watery Grave for that, because I don't know that Tomebound literally does much. Well, So if the Narset resolves, that's really cool for us. We don't know exactly what our opponent's on, so we don't know exactly what we want to discard, but I imagine they're going to go Counterspell here, which is fine. We have another Narset. It's a negate, so it seems like maybe this is Flash. Although it would have been odd for them to have no plays on 1 or 2. But, you know, it could be that they just kept some negates and then, like, you know, mono 4-drops, because the 4-drops in that deck are incredible, and especially on the play when it's hard for your opponent to really get in under them. Alright, let's play. Now that we kind of know what our opponent's doing, let's try getting out Tomebound Lich. I feel like we can wait for another land and then have negate backup, but I would rather try to get one... Syncopate? Yep, so very, very counterspell heavy. I feel like I'd rather try to resolve Narset than the Tomebound Lich in that case. Especially because there's a possibility that Narset's prison ability is relevant here. Okay, so now we've got the negate back up because we needed blue for that. So let's try it, see what happens. If our opponent has 2 counterspells, they can cast for a total of 5 mana. They are golden. Oh, no counterspell whatsoever. Okay, well, let's... it could be that they just want to flash something in and then kill her. Oh my god, we brick on Narset. Our odds of that are really low. Well, opponent was right not to counter her, apparently, and then just try to swing into her, but if they do that... Okay, so if they have exactly Spell Pierce, we are really sad and probably completely dead. Unsummon. That is much less bad, at least, because it at least made them spend a card to get there. Shift to Ceratops. Well, that's a good reason to... that ambusher into Ceratops is a really good reason to leave the Narset in to resolve.
You are a mighty warrior. I can see.
Well, that's not going to do anything yet. Do we think our opponent can play anything for 2? Because if they can, it'll be wrong of us to do this right now. But, I mean... I think I'd rather risk it and just fix our mana right here. We could do it on their turn too, but I think it's more likely that we get punished then, because then they have... if we do that, then they can tap the land we're targeting, put a new land in. They're going to flash their things in anyways most turns, so the fact that they have to do that at instant speed on their end step doesn't matter to them. And you keep up negate this way. So that's fine. Our bricking on Narset there was a really big deal, though. Like, if we'd have hit, you know, a nice Planeswalker, or even just a removal spell, like, you know, another cast down or something, or a Thought Erasure. Getting a Thought Erasure in under the Flash deck is really powerful. Okay, Okay, well, let's try Tomebound Lich, see what happens. We can discard the Cry of the Carnarium if it resolves, so that's good. Our opponent's tapping off of Nightpack Ambusher to do this. I think we have to do this because... So they can't ambush her here, which is good for us. They could just have another counterspell and then we're totally hosed. But yep, they got it. Just gotta put up a good game there because we are pretty much out of outs at this point. Opponent's going to have Shifting Ceratops. We can kill the Ceratops, and they have an ambusher that we can't deal with. And one of our 2 cast downs is already in the bin. So, yeah, as you can see there, the Flash deck really good at countering these decks that just want to play a single powerful spell every turn, because the Flash deck says, alright, the turns where you miss, I'm going to play a huge creature, and the turns where you hit, I'm just going to play like a Frilled Mystic and counter your thing and get a 3-2 that I beat you to death with over the course of a couple turns. So yeah, good game from our opponent there. I'm actually a little surprised. I guess that some of those lists do play the Scrylands, the Temple of Mysteries, I think, for green-blue. I don't know how... it feels like getting too many come into play tapped lands would be a problem there. Oh, man. We actually have Discovery Dispersal here, which we can use to hopefully set up for black if we don't draw one next turn. But, yeah, so I guess that's just on me never really playing that deck and feeling like, you know, every mana is so important to that deck. But it could be that just setting up your draws with the Scries is more important, and, you know, maybe you just want more than the 8 shock and check lands anyways, so that would also make sense. Alright, so best thing we can get here is a Source of Black. Gutterbane. Source of Black. Look at that. Like we hate. To make sure to cast Thought Erasure because it does a little bit look like Discovery Dispersal. Is that also on this? No, I don't think it is. No, it's Mark Bam. Let's go and take a look. Duress, Banefire, Shock, Chupacabra. Duress takes either Negate or Discovery Dispersal, which I don't really care about that much. I'm going to take the Ravenous Chupacabra because I don't want them to kill our Cavalier of Gales with it, because that would be really sad. Banefire we can just save a negate for, although if they get up to 6 mana, we can't negate. Oh, that's a good point. We're a long way off from that. We're going to take the Chupacabra and leave a land on top, especially a blue land that gives us all the blue we need for this. It might have been right to take the Banefire and just play for the really long game, but I do not believe that that is the case. Also, they're going to duress our way or negate anyways, so we're not going to be able to counter that thing. Well, I assume they're taking our negate, right? Like, I would... Well, I guess maybe... Our hand looks okay to me, so I don't feel like we really need Discovery Dispersal, but that's what they take. It is important to remember that Discovery Dispersal has an alternate mode, which I used to play it in the Is It Phoenix deck, where there was 1 Blood Crypt, so you almost never actually had it be relevant. But it does come up sometimes in this deck. It's not enough of an upside to make it... Okay, I'm going to get rid of this extra island. It's almost, in my opinion... Oh, wait, no. That's our 5th land. We want that. Oops. We clicked it anyways by accident, chat. Feels bad, man. So Pyromancer is pretty good, but we're walling off their entire side with Tomebound Lich, so again you can see... Okay, good, we got another land anyways. No punish. I think we're going to put this down so they don't know we have double black, because... Actually, no, let's make them play around the Cry of the Carnarium we don't have. I think I prefer that. We're not going to go in because we'd be gaining 1 life to take 4. We'd also get a loot, but our hand's pretty good right now, so it doesn't feel too necessary. We're going to get punished for not taking this Banefire, but the alternative is that they're going to kill our Cavalier of Gales next turn because they know that we have it, and then we have very little pressure on board. They can recur the Gutterbones, but it takes a lot of mana to do so, but I think I will kill this guy anyways. I'm actually not a huge fan of Gutterbones a lot of the times. It's kind of an aggressive card. We're going to shock our guy, but we gain a life, we stop 2 damage, we stop 2 damage going to us. This is all fine. I think I think we're actually going to negate the shock, because we're not going to be able to counter the Banefire in a turn or 2 anyways by the time it's relevant. So let's counter the shock, make them spend a lot of mana on the Banefire instead of getting this really efficient spell off. Oh, they have another shot. Cool. That settles that, I guess. Ooh, so now we have a Narset. Opponent's 2 turns off of being able to punish or to kill our Gales with Banefire. So maybe we actually want to do that here. And we have nothing to protect Narset either. So I think we can do this. Very worst is we get a Brainstorm, we get a Scry, and then we get to reshuffle it into our deck. If opponent has discard... Well, I don't think we're going to play around discard here. I think we would... We did see a Duress, though. Let's see, we'll put back... I like keeping the Negate. The Cast Down is really good. Let's put... I'm going to put back these 2. I think we'll be able to Narset one of these into our hand. And I think it's more likely that they kill our Cavalier than that they draw a discard spell next turn. So let's get rid of these 2. This may be wrong. I have not practiced the heuristics of this virtually at all. And also I don't know what our opponent's going to draw, so I don't know if we're going to have to shuffle away or not. Okay, so that looks like we're good. We're going to let them get in for the 2, because then we can fade Banefire killing our... Oh, wait. They would have nailed... Oh, shoot, that was a huge punt on our part, actually, because it's X equals 5, not being cast for 5. That's a shame. We'll just bounce the Cavalier of Thorns when they Banefire us next turn. Or Cavalier of Gales when they Banefire us next turn. How's that sound? Sounds like a good alternative. It's not quite as good. In fact, it's nowhere near as good. Legion's End is great because it'll permanently deal with Gutter Bones. And we'll get in for 5. If they swing into our Narset, that's fine. I'd rather start racing here. Okay, they go against us for 2. Now, like, reconsider. What I really want for them to do here is spend their mana, like, spend their whole turn on the, killing the Cavalier of Gales. But I would rather they spend this time doing that.
Interesting technique.
Red Horde Invasion. That's what the gates are for. I believe that now we will Legion's End, because we can Legion's End plus have Tyrant's Scorn up. So let's get rid of that Gutter Bones forever and ever. Take a look at the Banefire we still know they have in their hand. We're going to keep the Drowned Catacomb in hand because we might want to discard it to another Tomebound Lich in the future. Take him to 5. We could have been right to leave this guy back to activate Narset again. Well, there's another reason to have kept the Drowned Catacombs in hand.
Hope this mask is intimidating enough.
Resolve.
Let's tidy up in there.
Discard the Catacombs. I'm gonna be honest, I got no idea what opponent's on. This has been quite the ride so far. Alright, we take 2 off of Davriel.
Ugh, what a whiner.
Oh man, I love Davriel's voice lines. Alright, so opponent can deal 2 damage to us with Davriel, make us discard another card. I'm fine with that. I'm just gonna swing at face. But anyway, what I was saying about swinging at them instead of blocking for Narset is that's an entire extra turn that our opponent doesn't have to stabilize. So if they hit land here, they can make us bounce our Cavalier, then we get to replay the Cavalier. Opponent good games. It was unfortunate that they bricked on all of those lands to try to kill this guy, but that wasn't really great for them anyways because we could bounce it. Davriel pluses or minuses, we discard the Cry of the Carnarium, and then we can replay it, get another Brainstorm, and opponent's in really bad shape. So, there we go. That was a little bit of the It's Pronounced Tome deck. I'm a little rusty on my like AP pronunciation guide, but I think that's how you do Tome. But anyway, we saw how the deck works pretty well. Saw Tomebound Lich carry some weight. This is such a fun card, and this is just exactly what I want from a value Dimir deck. yeah, on that note, I think that we will wrap it up. I have another deck that I kind of want to showcase at some point. I'll just give a little sneak peek of it here. Not going to go into it too deeply, but as you'll see, we are missing a few cards. I guess it's really just the Knights of the Ebon Legion, so we're pretty close to it. Although we'd also want some more Thief of Sanity Legion War Boss. So this is just a really aggressive Grixis list I've been working on, that maybe in the next few days we'll take a look at that and give it a spin once I have the cards that I need for it. Yeah, we can do some, maybe do some Rakdos Aristocrats, do some more Elementals, stuff like that, do some events as they come up. So stay tuned for all of that in the not too distant future. Remember, if you liked the video, give us a thumbs up, give us a subscribe, leave some comments, things you liked, things we could do better, all that great stuff. Thank you very much for joining me. This is Ben with the Tiger's Den, and I'll be seeing y'all later. Good night.